Hello everybody and welcome back to the Simple Joy Show. Today I want us to talk about uncovering the joy hidden within our daily mundane tasks. We've all got those daily routines that perhaps aren't the most fun, we don't enjoy doing them, and in some cases we might even dread doing them, but it doesn't have to be that way. So today I want to share a few things that have helped me learn how to find joy in some of these mundane tasks, and I hope that you find them helpful to make your dreaded tasks a little bit more enjoyable too. This is the Simple Joy Show, the podcast for people who are ready to declutter and simplify their homes and lives to create more space, time, energy and freedom. I am your host, Hayley Forster, mother, wife and declutter coach, and I'm going to be sharing with you simple bite-sized nuggets to help you on your journey to living a simpler life through the power of decluttering. So if you're ready to choose calm over chaos, then let's dive into today's show. Hello everybody, how are you all? I've decided to hop on and do this episode this morning, but I forgot that my washing machine is running, so I'm hoping you can't hear that because I'm in my office, which is right above where the utility room is, and it's quite a noisy washing machine, so hopefully you can't hear that. But anyway, we are all good here in the Forster household, really settling into autumn. It's just feeling so cozy at the moment. The weather's really cooling down, although I saw, and it's very British of me, but I saw on the weather report that it's going to be like 20 odd degrees at the weekend, which is very random given the weather that we've had the past couple of weeks. But it's been really chilly, nice and crisp. It's starting to feel really autumn. The nights are cutting in, we're getting the hot chocolate out, I've got the blankets out again, and yeah, it's just really lovely. I love this time of year. Autumn's probably my favourite time of year, based purely on just the cosy nature of it and settling in on a night time and snuggling and watching films and stuff like that. I like to try and embrace that as much as possible, so we're really enjoying that at the moment. And we're really buzzing in the Forster household today because as I recorded this last night, we watched our football team win a game in the Champions League. I'm a Newcastle supporter. I'm from Northumberland, supported Newcastle all my life. And yeah, they had their second game in the Champions League last night at St James's Park, which is our home ground, and they absolutely smashed it. So we were absolutely buzzing last night, so we're on a bit of a high, feeling very proud to be Geordie today. Anyhow, I digress. Today I wanted to talk about trying to find joy in those mundane tasks that we've all got to do. And the reason why I chose this topic is because I've been procrastinating a little bit. We have had, as I mentioned in the last episode, we have had a period of quieter time in our home at the moment. There's not a lot of activities in our calendar. There's not a lot of things to do at the moment. Obviously that's going to change in a couple of weeks and all the festivities start for the end of the year. But I've been wanting to use this slower period to perhaps catch up on some things that need doing, just doing a little bit of decluttering here and there. And I have found myself procrastinating, which is fine. I just usually go with the flow. If I'm not feeling it, I don't do it. But it has become maybe a bit more of a habit over the past couple of weeks, to the point where I'm getting a little bit frustrated with myself, and I do it quite frequently, and it's one of the main reasons why I perhaps live a minimalist lifestyle, because I don't like cleaning, I don't like tidying. It's not one of my favourite activities. I would much rather be doing other things. And that is why I choose to live the way I do. I try to live quite minimally, and I try to live quite in an organised fashion, just because it makes it easier and I don't have to spend as much time doing the things that I don't like doing. But yes, I've got a home, I've got a family. There are things that need doing just to keep us ticking over. And sometimes I can find those quite difficult to do. I find it difficult to motivate myself. So I have, over the years, found little ways of just finding a little bit of joy within them, or making them a little bit more enjoyable, just so I actually can get them done and I don't keep putting them off and keep procrastinating on things. And that's what I want to share with you today. So the first idea is to try combining the mundane task that you've got to do with an enjoyable task. So if your mundane task is something that doesn't really require a lot of focus from yourself, you can try combining it with something else, but something else that you enjoy doing at the same time. So some of the things you could think about here are listening to music, put some of your favourite podcasts on, or perhaps you haven't caught up with a friend for a while, so you give your best mate a ring and put the worlds to right while you're doing the task at hand that you need to do. And this is one of the things that I like to do when I'm sorting the kitchen out. So if I'm sorting out the cupboards or I'm cleaning up after tea, anything like that, I usually stick on my favourite podcasts. I've got a lot of podcasts I listen to, and it's just my time to just switch off, listen to those, get the kitchen sorted that I need to get sorted every day. And it just makes that task more enjoyable, and I can guarantee that actually I don't mind doing it. I finish my meal and I just get up and I sort it all out, stick my podcasts on, the kids go and play, and then that's my moment, that's my half hour to kind of be by myself and listen to the things that I want to listen to. And I actually do look forward to that part of the day, which just sounds bizarre to me. If you said to me 10 years ago I would enjoy cleaning the kitchen, it's a funny one, but I actually do enjoy it now because I've combined it with something that I like doing. So I'm more focusing on listening to the podcast, and the sorting of the kitchen just ends up happening. It just it's autopilot really. I don't really think about the fact that I'm doing it. And I even have a couple of friends that have dance parties when they're sorting out the kitchen. So they put the music on really loud and they just dance around the kitchen while they're sorting their dishes out, which just sounds like so much fun. So just find something that you really enjoy doing it and pair it with a task that you don't, and just see how you get on. See if that enables you to do it much easier. And the second idea is to try turning the task into a game. So if it's something that you really, really hate doing and you find yourself struggling, not wanting to do it, you can set yourself a timer and see how quickly you can get everything done. And if you're someone who's quite naturally competitive, this might work really well for you. And I first realised that the time limit thing was a good idea for me. It was a few years ago, and I mentioned in a previous episode that we have a cleaner, and I've had a cleaner since my eldest was born, so 11 years. And she had a set time every 2 weeks to come round to do the cleaning. And then one week she messaged me and she said, oh, instead of coming at 11 a.m, can I come at 9 a.m? And she messaged me that like just before I was going to go to bed the night before. And I was like, yeah, it's fine, not a problem. So I got up, and obviously I had to take my daughter to nursery. So I had very limited time in the morning. And usually what I like to do before the cleaner comes is I have a sweep around, just make sure the surfaces are clear, and have a little bit of a tidy so that she's able to clean as well as she can without there being junk everywhere, basically. And in that 20 minutes that I had to sort the house out before she arrived, I got so much more done than I ever would because I had a time limit. I knew that she was coming at 9 and I knew what I needed to get done. And I completed it so fast. And it was fine. It wasn't like a half-assed job or anything like that. It was just that I had a time limit and I just got it done so much quicker than I ever would. And it's that old saying, isn't it, is that you get your house tidied quicker than you ever do when someone comes to visit versus what you could do in a full week. So try giving that a go and see if that's something that can gamify it for you and make it much more enjoyable. The third idea is doing something with somebody else. So if it's something that you really don't enjoy, just ask someone if they can help you. And we do this with a few things. So I don't particularly like grocery shopping by myself. I do most of my shopping online. But if there's stuff that I want to do at the supermarket or pop to somewhere that doesn't deliver perhaps, I get the kids to come along with me because they enjoy it, they get excited because they love going shopping. It's the benefit of two girls, I suppose, and it just makes it so much more enjoyable for me, and it makes it like a nice experience with me and my daughters. rather than just me popping out and grabbing a few things and it becoming a bit of a chore. It's me taking the girls out and we'll have some quality time together. We might pop to a little cafe and get coffee and a cake, things like that. And it just makes it more of an experience rather than a job to be done. Another thing for me is when we're decluttering is that I sometimes like to do it with the girls or with my husband, depending on the location of the items. And we usually stick on a film, or we can watch one of our TV programs, put some music on, podcast again, and we just have a little bit of a chat while we're doing it. It becomes one of those moments where we're together, we're enjoying each other's company, or we're doing something that we enjoy. So instead of me being in a room by myself, not really interacting with anybody, it can become much more of a sociable experience, and again makes it much more joyful. And the last idea is rewarding yourself. So if you've got like a massive pile of dishes to sort through, or you've got a massive mound of washing perhaps, you can just say, right, if I get this done and I get it done in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to get myself a bar of chocolate, or I'm going to get a bottle of wine and just sit with a glass and watch a film. And just having some type of reward to look forward to automatically motivates you. It helps you power through when you're not in the mood. And this works really well for me. I suppose I'm like a little kid in a way, where I like getting a little pat on the head, and I give that pat to myself. I give myself a well done. I was like, right, that was a good job done, Hayley. Now have a glass of wine and a bar of chocolate. And it just feels really good to get it knocked off your to-do list, especially when it's something that you're not looking forward to, or perhaps it's been on your to-do list for a few days. And just giving yourself that little pat on the back that you deserve, it helps you feel accomplished, and it's going to make you feel less likely to dread it when you come to do it next time. And that's because you're getting back into your routine, you're getting into those habits, and sometimes you've got to tempt yourself, you've got to reward yourself. As I say, treat yourself like a little kid and say, what would I most like in this moment in time? It might be that you go for a walk, have 5 minutes to yourself. It might just be, like I say, a bar of chocolate and a glass of wine. And reward yourself for that. Get the job done, reward yourself, and it'll just seem so much more motivating. So before I wrap up, I would just want to leave you with a little thought, and that is that each task that we have in our life, in our day-to-day lives, no matter how dull it can be, you can turn them into a source of joy. It's all about the perspective and the approach that you choose to take, and that can make all the difference with it. So I just want to challenge you that next time you're faced with something that you just really don't want to do, you can change that. You can make yourself think differently about it. And one way of doing that is by choosing one of these little suggestions that I've took you through today to try and make it more joyful for yourself. So which one of them are you going to try? I'd love to hear about it. Let me know which tasks you usually try to sidestep and how you're going to plan to just sprinkle some of that joy into them. Tell me your stories, drop me a DM on Instagram, because I'd love to hear all about it. So thank you for joining me on today's episode of The Simple Joy Show. Remember that life's ordinary moments can become extraordinary. And until next time, keep finding your simple joy. Thank you so much for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode and you'd like to help support The Simple Joy Show further, then please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all the latest from me, you can follow me on Instagram at HelloSimpleJoy. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.